Hey to all my hustlers out there, and welcome to the Entrepreneur Hustle's 30-day Hustle Harder Challenge. We are tackling the midpoint of 2020 by saying it was hard, but I still have some tricks up my sleeve. And we are building our tricks. We are building our skills. We are building our habits. We are building our mind to make sure that we are ready for the mid part and closing out 2020. The year, history making year, but we're history makers, so let's get it. Today's day 11, and we're talking about something very near and dear to my heart, which is facing fear, the habit of facing fear. No, it just doesn't happen boom boom boom. I was afraid of something and now I've conquered it, I'm moving on. It can be a habit. You can incorporate the little things you may be afraid of every day. And the first things first, when it comes to facing your fear, you kind of have to be honest with yourself. You have to have a moment of clarity. What are you really afraid of? Sometimes our fears come from places that we may avoid, we may skip, we may not want to confront. And really solving and facing that fear comes with confronting whatever the source of it is. So perhaps you say, well, I'm afraid of public speaking. And maybe you could trace that back to some point in your history, or maybe it's just a symptom of some other fear. I'm afraid of being seen. I'm afraid that people will make fun of me. I'm afraid of fill in the blank. So sometimes what you think you're afraid of, or what is most upfront in what you think you're afraid of, may be just a symptom of some deeper concerns or some deeper fears that you have to figure out, right? Because to solve a problem, you have to know the problem. So some moments of clarity, some moments of honesty with yourself are very important when it comes to facing fears. Next things next, take small everyday steps to help you face and conquer that fear. If you're afraid of public speaking, perhaps you can start on a daily basis, maybe even just with a post on Facebook or Instagram to start conquering that fear. And it may be at first ways you're very comfortable with, ways that still give you your space and some freedom to breathe and not feel overwhelmed. But as you continue to take those small steps, you can then reach larger steps. You can take larger steps, or you can reach a lot further by just taking daily steps to address whatever fear that is. Fear is in your mind, and the way to conquer it is in your mind. And lots of times, daily steps help you progressively say, okay, I'm afraid of this, but what is there really to be afraid of? If I'm afraid of heights, if I could get to the 10th floor, I could get to the 20th floor. If I get to the 20th floor, maybe I could get to the 25th. And on and on and on. And over time, you really start addressing those fears and finding ways that suit you to conquer them. And I always like to think about fear like a little recipe when it comes to conquering it, right? You're going to make a recipe, and tempering chocolate is a great way to do it. If there's something that you do like to do, mix it with something that you're afraid of. Have a little combination of both. And the more you do this, the more you're willing to put in a little more of the fear conquering with things you like to do, right? So it may start off very small. Perhaps you're afraid of public speaking and you want to join Toastmasters, but you're going to join a chapter that has good networking, some colleagues that you already know, a space that you feel comfortable in. So you're tempering things that you like, perhaps like networking, meeting new people, with things that you're afraid of, public speaking, the challenge of being seen. And more, you're tempering these two things together. So your mind is like, you know what? It is scary, but this other part's not so bad. The people I meet are not so bad. And you're reprogramming your mind to say, although it may seem scary, I may have had a fear of this, there's things that you can pull that you like from almost any negative situation. So let's start pulling some of those things out and making this a part of how we're conquering that fear. Those are our tips for today. Make sure you join us on this 30-day challenge. Whether we like it or not, the midpoint of 2020 is coming. It's almost here, and we need to be ready for it. Like, share, and subscribe to the Entrepreneur Hustle. Join us on our 30-day Hustle Harder Challenge and get in on the conversation, because we can all get there together. Thanks.